Good afternoon. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. It's approximately 5:26 p.m. PST, and we are back. We gave you an update earlier on what was happening across portions of the southern plains, central plains. Lots of snow reports. Absolutely impressive snowfall totals across portions of the Rockies. We saw one county in New Mexico that I think calculated 40 inches so far. Of course, we have to make sure that's all confirmed with the National Weather Service, but I do believe that was a local authority that did get that number. So 40 inches for some in some very nice snowy parts of the country. So I am definitely dreaming of being there. But in the meantime, I'm here in Santa Monica, California from the beach house. And this is where we are talking about everything that's happening locally and, of course, across the globe. So we do have some weather stories that we have to get to in Europe as well as in Asia. We do have to also talk about the weather across the nation. But as you all know, I have been absolutely dedicated to the mountain fire. We are now at 20,765 acres burned and only 7% contained. So I want to give you a little bit of information. We've got several updates. In fact, as far as evacuation warnings go, I do want to add these. We've got Zone 2A, area south of Lloyd Butler Ranch Road and West Mountain Road, west of La Vista Avenue, east of California 118, north of Beardsley Avenue. Zone 3, partial areas east and including Ocean View Drive to Somas Road. Zone 4, partial reopening, area north of Las Posas Road, west of Anacapa Drive, east of Crestview, south of and including Calle Higuera, Calle Converse, Sierra Mesa Drive, Alta Segunda Court, Alvarado Drive, and San Miguel Drive. And Zone B, 4B, partial reopening, area southeast and southwest of Beardsley Road, east of Central Avenue, north and including Avenida de Atulan, all of Via Aracena and Crestview, west of Las Posas Road, north of West Ponderosa, and south of Crestview Avenue. All right. That was a mouthful, right? So I wanted to give you guys updates on what I was seeing as far as road closures go and things like that could definitely prevent traffic from moving. Now, if you do not have to be in this area, do not go to this area. This is not where you want to be right now. We are only 7% contained for the mountain fire with over 20,000 acres burned. So let's talk a couple of items here, including casualties. So far, we are seeing that 6 people have been injured, 1 confirmed fire personnel, and I believe 5 civilians. But we, of course, will keep you updated on that. I've also updated you guys on where to get federal assistance if you or somebody you know needs the help. I urge you to do this quickly. It does take time, okay? I do think because Governor Newsom did execute and signed off on that state of emergency for this fire, I do think that'll help accelerate the pace here. But you still want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough time here to, of course, deal with what all the paperwork and everything that it takes, right? So California secured federal assistance to support the mountain fire. So this is where you're going to go to FEMA. You can just type that into Google, FEMA mountain fire. That should just together will give you the link to click on that. Okay. We still have several road closures, and now another update for the large animal evacuation center. I'm going to assume horses, and it makes me so sad for the wildlife, for animals in general, for these beautiful horses. So the Ventura County Fairgrounds is filled to capacity. Okay, so now the next area that you might want to go to is Earl Warren Showgrounds, 3400 Calle Real in Santa Barbara, California, 93105. Okay, we still have the Small Animal Evacuation Center at the Ventura County Animal Service Center at the Camarillo Airport. We still have the Padre Sarah Parish Evacuation Center for people, but we also have to add that in addition to the Ventura County Fairgrounds, which is filled to capacity right now, we have the Earl Warren Showgrounds. Guys, that really should tell you what's happening right now, especially with our wildlife, especially with those beautiful horses, with the larger animals. The fact that they are filled to capacity absolutely breaks my heart. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I might head into, I might go into these different shelters for the animals to see, or maybe call to just not get in anybody's way to see how I can help. I absolutely just feel so bad. I mean, I just can't imagine how these animals feel. I mean, if we as humans are scared, I couldn't even imagine. They're just like, what's happening? So a lot of larger animals need homes right now. They need shelter. So that's the issue that we're seeing right now. Okay. So, just keep that in mind. Let's see. We have some new zones that we want to talk about. Zone 10, evacuation warning. The area that extends east of 12th Street to Willard Road, south to Highway 126 along the Santa Clara River. Now, there are other updates, and that includes that we've seen over 130 buildings that have been incinerated. They're gone for the most part, and several that have been partially damaged. And I'm so sorry for those of you who have lost your homes, and who have lost your belongings, like things like pictures that I know means so much to everybody. Let's see. So we have over 130 homes or structures rather destroyed. Now we're not clear whether they're like commercial buildings, homes. Still, that doesn't matter. People's lives are impacted and devastated, and primarily homes in the foothills around Camarillo. So that's giving us some indication, but we're still probably seeing some commercial spaces as well. And 88 have been damaged by the fire. So that is. That's a really, really scary situation. Now, remember that we had to deal with the Santa Ana winds, right? So that was the biggest factor here. So something triggered this fire. It's still unknown, it's still under investigation. Could it be a power line? Maybe. We don't know. We'd be guessing, and it would be absolutely irresponsible of me to tell you otherwise. But again, it's under investigation. That's what we do know. And that's what we're going to put a lot of care into, just getting you updated as to how this started. But of course, you all know the Santa Ana winds accelerated the situation, and it really did help those winds heat up, compress, all that friction, as I mentioned, with those air molecules. It's a lot. There's a lot of physics that goes into this part of it, especially when we're talking about squeezing air through like a tunnel, which would be those canyons. That was what didn't help the situation, and in fact helped really to just prevent people from prevent the experts, firefighters from just putting some kind of a damper on the situation, right? So I want to get into something really quickly. I think I told you guys my father-in-law was a firefighter for so many years, and he's still even though he's retired, he still goes there every day and he helps out. So he's just, I think, once a firefighter, always a firefighter, kind of like a Marine, right? So we just want to talk a little bit about something here about the containment of the fire. Like, as we said, 7% contained. So let's see here. The majority. Okay, let's see here. We are talking about the area that is contained. So let's see. Uh, in this area, yeah, it's really just contained to 7%, and that's really, really sad. So we also are looking back to the Thomas Fire, which destroyed over 1,000 structures and burned more than 281,000 acres in Santa Barbara and Ventura counties. So it also had a similar situation where we had the Santa Ana winds, very arid conditions, and of course, that was all enough to just have this fire burn out of control and for quite some time. So now we are dealing with the mountain fire, and let's get into some of our graphics here so we can take a look to see what we have going on and how we can maybe see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm looking forward to the future cast. I'll show you all in just one moment. But right now, as you can see here, we have our near surface smoke profile, and I'm going to highlight this right now. We have our air quality issues that are in effect. Now, it's until tonight. I'm doubting that this is going to end tonight. They'll extend it. I'm positive they'll extend it. But nonetheless, you trust me when I tell you to please, if you're in this area, get your masks on, keep your masks on. If you're not required to evacuate the area, please close your windows, close your doors, and limit outdoor exposure. I mean, as you can see here, this is quite an expanded stretch here of smoke. Now, I'll tell you what's happening here. Actually, let me just move on up to another graphic that I have here set for you guys. Let's see here. Okay, let's see what happens here. Here's another one. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to toggle this back. And I've done this with you guys quite a few times. So this is one piece of an overall national weather forecast, futurecast, hour by hour. It goes through 120 hours out. What I wanted to do was just show you, of course, the area that is being impacted by the fires. And I wanted to show you how this smoke will behave over the next couple of days, because while we are going to be able to thankfully um, see much better wind conditions for the firefighters, the problem is now that we're going to see a shift in the winds. Remember, we were dealing with that clockwise circulation over the Great Basin, but we also had that storm system, the one that dumped up to 40 inches for parts of the Rockies. We also saw that that was doing a counterclockwise circulation. So that in fact was accelerating, if you will, and it was making those winds converge and come together. So as they wrapped around that high pressure system, they were getting squeezed by that counterclockwise circulation to the southeast. That actually sped up those winds. That didn't help at all, and that in fact was another reason we were seeing such volatile winds. So what I looked at was we needed that system to move. It's moving northeastward. It's lifting. It's out of here. Well, not yet, but it's moving up through the Midwest, which is exactly what we needed to do. But at the same time, we need to take a look at an area of low pressure, another storm that's going to dive down. There's an associated frontal boundary. The cold front is good news for us, and I'll show you why in just one moment. But we do have, let's see here. Let me just go back a little bit. But we will see a break in the aridity of the atmosphere because of that next storm coming in. Okay. Now, I'm not promising that everybody's going to get rain. We're only going to see rain up through like Carmel Valley, maybe Soledad. And that's just about it. But at least what we'll see is a transport of of water content in the atmosphere. Okay. And also, it's triggering an atmospheric river. So could this be a sign of things to come, of much better things to come? Possibly. We'll take a wider look now in a moment. But I want to show you here as we move this through. We're starting this at 5 p.m. Remember, it's 5:38 p.m. PST. So now we're starting this at 5 p.m. PST. We're going to go forward through tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. Okay, so let's go at 24 hours. Do you see how the smoke is starting to work its way eastward? Okay, that's because we now have that storm system that's moving down and it's circulating the wind counterclockwise, which means what? The wind is coming in from the northwest. You can actually see it right here. Do you see that northwest push there of the winds? So look what's going to happen. So let me go back again. Do you see how the surface smoke is kind of contained into like Somis, like that Los Angeles County, Ventura County, Santa Barbara County, all that area there, Lompoc, Taft, Lancaster. Let's go ahead and go forward. Look what happens as that storm system comes down. While the winds aren't going to be very strong, they're still going to be anywhere between like 8 to 12 miles per hour. The issue is that we have a northwesterly wind, okay? So while I do think that this wind profile, this new storm system coming down is going to actually help fight the fire and will contain the fire, we're then going to have to deal with the near surface smoke. Okay. So I want you to be aware that there is a difference. Okay. So some of us can say, okay, we are happy that the fire is going to be able to be contained, right? Due to the fact that we have that storm, that Aleutian low moving into the the Pacific Northwest. But along with that, we get that counterclockwise circulation. And then, so look what happens here. Saturday, 4 p.m. Let's move this slowly but surely. Look at how far eastward that dense smoke gets. Ridgecrest, Barstow, Tacoma, Searles Valley, Edwards. Look at this. Do you see Palm Springs, Yucca Valley? You guys are starting to get that smoke moving in. So by tomorrow afternoon, for folks who are inland, farther inland, east of Somis, okay? Now, whether it's northeast, east or southeast, you're going to be impacted by the smoke, okay? If you have an easterly, position to this fire, you're going to start to feel it, okay? You're going to start to breathe it. You're definitely going to want to limit your outdoor exposure. I know so many of you want to enjoy your weekend, but that's not going to be the case. Also, are you looking here? Do you see snow? Are you looking at the snow there? That's right. We're also tracking some snow. So look here. I am really excited because as we take a look at every model run that comes through here, do you see how far south this rain is coming? Almost to Lompoc. So am I pretty happy about this? Yes, I'm very happy about this because this is telling me that now we have the capacity to have some kind of moisture in the atmosphere. It won't be as arid as we've been seeing, okay? We need this. This is a sign. If the if the ocean is telling me what I think it's telling me, I'm pretty happy because it's telling me that we've got this atmospheric river and this very well could be something that's changing the pattern. Remember, we're going into a weak La Nina for the kickoff of 2024-25 winter, but nonetheless, I'm still happy because it's starting to just entice us with some type of precip, whether it's wintry precip or just rain. I'm fine with that because it will naturally carry some of that precipitable water in the atmosphere. Okay. So this looks pretty promising, but we're going to still have to deal with, look at the smoke. Okay. This is at near surface. Okay. Look what happens here. Do you see how it all gets pushed in because of that northwesterly flow? All right. Just keep that in mind. All right. Let's go to the next one here. I think this is a really great map that you guys are going to be super psyched about, okay? Let's roll this back. I have them all like autoplay, so they'll just kind of start. Alrighty, I am excited. Are you guys excited? Oh my gosh. Do you guys have any questions? I'm kind of toggling between two different platforms here. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm really excited. Guys, this is good stuff. Okay, so as I mentioned to you, that high over the Great Basin was the culprit for the Santa Ana winds. Additionally, so is this low, the one that you see now moving up and along the Central Plains, and then it'll continue to move towards the UP. Well, that had to move and it has. So now do you see that ridge of high pressure? Do you see the ridge breaking? So right where this, do you see the clouds kind of just crossing right over Northern California, across like portions of the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Montana? Do you see how all of that is flattening out? And then do you see how that storm system, it's like smack dab right there over Denver? Do you see how everything is starting to fill in there? That's good news. We like the cloud situation here because that tells me there's some type of moisture. If you guys have seen my work, you know I am a stickler for clouds. I'm a stickler because my pet peeve is when people use sunny icons and it's mostly sunny. Like it drives me bananas. I'm like, you cannot use a sunny icon if it's mostly sunny. Okay, that was an aside. But I'm really happy because we are seeing that storm system that was sitting over the four corners moving northeastward. And as it does, that area, that ridge of high pressure starts to weaken and flatten. And now, ta-da, look what's happening over Alaska. And look at all that moisture, the green on the screen. We're liking this atmospheric river. We're liking that the atmosphere is starting to do what it has to do now, at least to help us out with this mountain fire. So look what happens. See how the storm system continues to move northeastward. Do you see how it's trekking through? There you go. Iowa. Do you go Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota? And then we go back here. We're like, oh, hey, guys, everybody in Minnesota. Hey, everybody in Wisconsin. Okay, so do you see this right here? Do you see how that area of high pressure is gone? It's like flattened, okay? So definitely by tomorrow, we're starting to see an improvement with the overall atmospheric conditions. Like I told you guys, late Thursday was going to be the time that those Santa Ana winds would subside. That's exactly what happened. Like I said, today would be the excitement in which that area of low pressure or that storm over the four corners would start to lift. That's what's happening right now. And then, and never mind, I've got to give you guys the snowfall totals, right? But now we see that ridge flattening out, and we wanted that ridge out. We needed that high pressure out of here because we just didn't want to deal with it with our fire. We need as much help as we can get from Mother Nature. But look what happens as that lifts. Look what's going on here. Guys, keep an eye out here for California. This is what we needed, right? We need some kind of moisture as we move this through Monday, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m. CST, which is 5 p.m. here, right? Ta-da! We've got moisture. We've got precip of some type. We're seeing swaths of moisture moving into the region. So this is great news for us here. I am so excited. And you're also seeing a changeover. That's right. It looks like we will get some snow. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to go through that in detail, and we're going to see who has warnings, watches, advisories, anything like that we're going to have to track very closely. I believe I have that graphic right up here. Let's go for it. Okay, so we're going to set our watches and alerts about, let me see, maybe 72 hours out. Do we want to go 72, 48 hours? What do you guys think? Okay, we've got our alerts going on right here, okay? And let me see what these alerts are set to. Okay, I definitely want to take a look at our alerts because I'm super excited about them because, I mean, wherever there's snow and I can drive to, I'm going. Okay, I just wasn't in a mood to fly to the Intermountain West, to be quite honest with you. I was a little just not in the mood for that. Okay, so let's display, yep, let's go 72 hours out, okay? So this is going to be, what are we going to include here? Are we going to include all of our winter statements as well? Yes, it looks like we will. We're going to include everything. We have our winter storm. We have a lot of statements that are being issued, okay? So we're going 72 hours out. And I think by tomorrow, you guys are going to see more winter storm watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service. So that is some very good news. Okay. So let's zoom in here. Once again, this is a storm. Thank you so much, Storm. While we appreciated your services over the Rockies for the skiers, those of you who invest in those ski passes that are so expensive. I know my husband gets those every year. I'm like, wow. Okay. So for those of you who ski, Mazel tov, you got all your snow. Please enjoy it. But I needed that thing to get out of here because I needed that ridge to start flattening. So now you can see that it's moving up and along Kansas, up and along. Like, listen, like I said to you before, we needed this to be out of here so quickly simply because that was going to be the one thing that helped us get that ridge of high pressure out of here. And so I am super happy about that. Now we're seeing some heavier bands of rain moving through parts of Kansas, but all in all, I think that we're in a good situation here with that storm system. I'm going to add storm tracks as well. Let's see. We still have that tornado watch issued for parts of Texas. I'm going to add our local storm reports to see what we have here. I haven't seen anything reported yet, but let's take a look. Okay. We want to make sure everybody has a nice and safe weekend. That's for sure. Take a look at our local storm reports. Yep, we don't see any tornadoes so far. I don't think we're going to see them today, but we're going to, of course, track them for you, okay? So let's turn that local storms reports back off. We'll get to that in a moment, okay? But I am liking the way this looks here, so yeehaw. Okay, so we needed that storm to get out of here, guys. I know you're never going to see me more excited about a storm with snow just moving out of the region. I mean, and I can tell you, it's just because I needed these conditions for these firefighters to improve. Let me see. Oh, we're at 14% contained. 14% contained. We just got an update. 20,638 acres. All right, at 5:47 p.m., we just got an update. 14% contained that mountain fire in Ventura County. Great news there. Start spreading the word. This is some great information. We are now at, what is it again? 14% contained? 14% contained right now. Let's see if we have any more injuries. Let's see. Damages. No, we don't see any more. Thank God for that. Okay. But now we're going back to our storms. We're going to get to that in one moment. So here we're seeing all of these storms that are just moving through parts of, Kansas, Nebraska, Arkansas. We've got Missouri, we have Oklahoma, lots of hail in Texas. This is a really, really active little area right now. We've got Louisiana, the Dakotas, all of this happening over the next couple of hours as that storm lifts and moves up and out and takes that ridge of high pressure along with it, or at least it influences and it flattens out and gives us a break. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these queries here, see what they're saying. This is a hydrologic statement. I want to look at that one first. So this is a forecast, and until further notice, no flooding is currently forecasted. The Canadian River, until further notice, additional details at 6:45 p.m. CST today. The stage was at 3 feet. Bank full stage is 8 feet. The river is expected to fall to 1.7 feet. Wednesday evening, flood stage is 8 feet. I think there's just a concern here with the flood stage. Could we reach flood stage? It's a wise hydrologic statement. You know, I shout out to hydrologists. That was one of the toughest classes I've ever taken. That and us and astronomy. I thought, I thought I was gonna ace astronomy. I hardly aced it. I think I got a B minus. I think I got a B minus. I'm pretty sure I got a B minus. And maybe I don't think so. I think I got a B minus. I mean, it was horrible math. It was just it was awful. I was just like, better you than I figuring out what is it? What was it? The theory of relativity that was just like based on one star and the eclipse. Yeah, no, way too much for me. Anyway, back to weather, where I excelled. Okay. So we can see here that we have several storms moving through Kansas, Oklahoma. So the Central Plains, Southern Plains, we're getting a lot up and along the Mississippi River Valley. There's some active weather there. We are seeing some flood warnings. Let's see what we have here in Louisiana. What's going on? What are we seeing here? Yes, we have, let's see, a flood watch issued in effect through Saturday night. Okay. So it's in effect now through Saturday night. So please be advised of that. But yes, we are very happy with these storms right now. And then I'm very, very, very happy with, okay, let's just undo this. Come on. All righty. I'm very, very, very happy with this over here. Okay. There we go. And once again, I've yet to remove the Hawaii names, but we'll leave them there for now. Okay. So we are super pumped. All right. Let me see if I can get you a better radar. Okay. Let me pick up another radar here. Alrighty. I just want to see what else we can get you. We love showing you guys a couple of things. Um, let's see. This might do well. Okay. So now we went with our North America. Let's see what Alaska shows us at 2 kilometers. Anything good? Now we'll just go back to our North America at 4 kilometers. Okay, that's fine. No problem. We like this one. Actually, this is at 1 kilometer. This is good. This is a good one. We're happy here. Okay. So yes, we are waiting for this to come down and to alleviate the situation. But what it will not alleviate, and I'm going to add this right now so that nobody gets this confused and says, oh, Erica says it's going to help with everything. No, no, no. It's going to help contain the fire. It's going to help the firefighters. It's definitely going to help them manage it. But what we're going to have to deal with now is going to be the surface smoke. So let's hold on one second. I know I saw surface smoke somewhere around here. Let's see. Near surface smoke. Here we go. Okay. Now we also see that there's some smoke, some fires that are burning in Oregon and Washington State, up and along Idaho into Montana. But again, I think the focus that I have to just work on right now with you guys is this one right here, the mountain fire. All right. So let's go back to our handy dandy. Sorry, this is like behind my light here. I'm going to go back to this once again. We're going to go into our, there we go. We're going to go into our hour by hour forecast and we're going to move forward several hours. And I am pumped. I don't know if you guys are as excited as I am. Look at this, San Luis Obispo. Oh my gosh, we're getting some rain. Lompoc. I'm so happy. So this is what we're waiting for. This little swath of precip to just help alleviate this fire. Again, the problem we're going to have is just going to be the movement of the near surface smoke. Okay. So that's going to have to be something that you're going to have to be mindful of. And I promise you, I will keep you all updated over the next several hours. We're at 29 minutes and 55 seconds. So I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys all enjoyed this update. I'll be back in just a little bit, but I'm very happy to report that the mountain fire is 14% contained. I mean, to some, that may not seem like a lot, but considering how bad the situation was, how dire it was, the first 24 hours, it was 0% contained. We're happy with the 14% containment. Alrighty, well, I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I do hope you're all having a wonderful Friday start to your weekend. And I'm so happy that we're getting that Mother Nature is doing what she does. She always comes through. She's getting that storm system to move up and along the central plains and then towards the upper peninsula. She's getting that high pressure ridge to flatten, which was the culprit for the Santa Anas. And she's also getting that storm system, that Aleutian low, to dive on down into the Pacific and then just kind of hug us here in northern California, parts of central California. We're liking that little flirtation with the precip, and it looks like we're getting a changeover. So could some of us get snow in California? Yes. Yes, some of us will. So I'll keep you updated in a little bit. I'll probably be back in about another couple of minutes, and I'll give you guys an update on the snow. That's right, snow.